This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 39. I'm going to start at verse 28. And it reads, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them." Verse 29, "Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance." Verse T, Salakia, verse 30. Salakia, verse 30. "Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to death." Salakia. "Punishing the wicked to destruction." Verse 31. "They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word." I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to God, Elohim, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kodash, Brokatham. I say double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's your brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, and I'm coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This lesson is inspired by basically a video I kind of watched on my Newsbreak app, and I tend to, like, I ain't gonna say collect, but I kind of, if I see a video topic, I might save it to go into another day. I was going to do a video on basically the situation in the land of Israel with those you know, people that's not Israelites, like the brother titled his video. He said, you got war in the land of Israel because they're not the Israelites, something to that effect. And I see through the spirit a lot of brothers doing a video on it, and I was just in the spirit. There's nothing off when you're going to do a video and then somebody already doing that topic. That's the spirit putting on your spirit to do that video. I may come back and do it again. I heard a couple brothers' videos. Again, I was going to do a video on it, but I decided to go this way because the simple fact is it's spiritual, because the Lord, I seen a video again. I seen this video where it was a spirit on a guy, and I'm just going to show the video, but you can see like these spirits is active and the Lord is putting violence back in the earth. I'm going to get this because, matter of fact, I already went to it. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1, and it reads, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." So when you go into that word perilous, it basically, I can't think of the Greek word, but I know the word basically goes into dangerous, it's dangerous, or it's gonna be hard to do, hard to bear, It's gonna be hard to survive. It's gonna be hard to live. You're gonna have to, it's gonna be very rough and dangerous because it's gonna be so violent in the world. It's gonna be a lot of things, but violence is gonna increase in the earth. It tells you that in the book of Matthew, and it's because the Most High is putting those spirits out here. That's why I read, Sirach chapter 32 or Ecclesiasticus or the book of Sirach chapter 30, I said 32, Salakia, chapter 39 about the spirits created for vengeance, because the Most High created those spirits created for vengeance. The Lord created each soul. He knows each soul. He's numbered each soul. I'm gonna get this in the book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 9, and it reads, "Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?" So the Most High is the Father of spirits, because basically all spirits are subject upon him or subject to him. I'm gonna get one more, because when you go into the book of I want that Salakia. You go into the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 18. It clearly tells you, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 18, and it reads, "He that liveth forever hath created all things in general. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua only is righteous, and there is none other but he." That's why Yahweh Shah, who you people were ignorantly called Jesus Christ, said, "Why calleth me good? There's none good but the Most High." And at the end of the day, how we attempt to try to, like, take the focus off of us, or be basically not to exalt ourselves. Yahushua clearly did that, and he had the power too. That's what makes him beyond great. That's one of the number of things that make him beyond great. Verse 3, who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will, for he is the king of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane. So, when you go into chapter 33 of the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, it talks about how the Most High made two and two, good versus evil. That's the perfect balance. But let me go back to second Ezra because I wanted to hold that. So without further ado, I want to play the copyright video, because how thirsty YouTube is, and then I'm gonna play this video. Bear with me. Now that's spiritual, because I wasn't. I mean, like, I didn't have that queued up like I did, but I didn't, because the last time I watched the video, the individual, they showed him in like 3 or 4 different locations. He was just walking. Everything's under surveillance. Everything. I forgot what they call that, but when you got an eye in the sky, it's a term for it. But it's like a surveillance state. It starts with a O, octo something. But I'm not going to take the time to look it up. Long story short, though, when I originally watched the video, they had this same individual captured on like 3 different cameras in 3 different areas. So he hadn't assaulted anybody, but you could see him talking to himself, and that go back to the point of him, spirits being created for vengeance. This dude obviously has spirits on him, and actually, well, brothers know, like I know through the spirit, he gonna get whoever the Lord intended for him to actually judge, because the Lord is gonna use him to judge something, you know what I mean? Or he may not, the Lord, can actually have mercy on the individual, but I mean, it just be. I mean, I'm 44 years old. I've seen a lot of strange things that I couldn't understand prior to coming into this truth. Now, being into this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, everything makes so much more sense, and it's like, wow, okay, I see why that happened now. So yeah, scriptures talk about wicked man understandeth not judgment. But those in this truth, those that actually follow the ways and the laws, and adhere to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we understand all things come of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, even judgment. And I'm gonna get some scriptures on that, because again, it was just spiritual how that all took place. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2 and verse 6, and it reads, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua killeth and maketh alive, he bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor, maketh rich, he bringeth low and raiseth up. And then as you keep on going on and on, basically it's going into how the Most High does all the things. He may use different agents, Shantan, or people call Satan, he has his realm of power. Yahweh Shai has his realm of power. But we all know that the right is always more powerful than the left. And both serve purposes, You wouldn't understand, I forgot who made that song. It said you wouldn't understand joy if you didn't have pain, And then it talks about being in the house of mirth. That's why sorrow is good for the soul, So it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 39, and it reads, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. So he reiterated it. You know, because this is the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I wound and I heal, neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. You know, that's how all powerful the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua is. You know, matter of fact, I'm gonna come with Psalm 68. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 68, and verse 20. He that is our power is the power of salvation, and unto the Most High the Lord belong the issues from death. So the only one that can preserve you from death is Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because at the end of the day, it's the Most High that wounds and heals. You know, he may use a left-hand spirit to attack you. He may use a left-hand spirit to preserve you. You know, I've seen wicked ass people that in their mind they think that's right, so they did some shit that they consider righteous. You know what I mean? You know, ultimately, it's all the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I read that. And the Most High, again, like I said, you seeing that individual, because like I said, I think I seen that video like a day prior to that war breaking out in Israel, you know, because basically they didn't declare war because they've been attacked by in Hamas. It was attacking Hamas, and that president, or he's not a president, he's a prime minister, but he's considered a president. Not a Jew. Inside joke. Not a Jew. He basically declared war. I saw that, and you know, I had a lot of brothers go in on it. And again, through the spirit, I may still go in on it, but I just felt through the spirit right now, you know, that didn't really have to be addressed. Although, you know, maybe some of the individuals that watch my channel were not aware of it. But if you know about this Israelite thing, you watching other videos, and I'm sure somebody covered it. But like I said, if the spirit lead me that way again, Lord willingly, you know, I'm willing to do the will and the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The thing was, I swear I saw the video about this individual, because the dude was wearing a dress, but then he walked around with a hammer. And like I said, just so happened nobody came across, he didn't come across nobody. Now, for them to only show one video, maybe he did. Now, all of a sudden, I don't know. Because like I said, they had 3 different, you know, recordings of this individual. And I was just looking at it like, damn, that's spiritual, because it was a spirit of violence on this man. And now a war broke out, you know what I mean? Showing you that the Most High is putting that spirit of violence in the earth. You know, that's how the Most High is visiting the earth, by different plagues, different pestilences, and putting these spirits, basically putting that spirit of turmoil and violence in the earth, you know, because at the end of the day, I've made mention of this prior, you know, the time of Jacob's trouble the time of Jacob's trouble will be like no time ever before, and it's going to be a time of great violence. So well, that's why you have all this war on the earth. That's why you have all this violence and crime on the earth, because it's going to be a very, very violent time during Jacob's trouble. So this is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9, and verse 1, and it reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we measuring the time by the scriptures. That's the measuring tool. We matching up what's going on in the world with what's written in the scriptures and the holy book. And then it says, then shalt thou understand it is the very same time. Once you see these things, that's when you know the Most High is visiting the earth which he have made, you know, and you know where we're at, you know, as far as, you know, we know we're close to the end, you know, like I said, again, that situation that's happening in the land of Israel with those fake Jews, that's going to lead to World War III, because you got to understand, different nations are in allegiance or alliance. I said allegiance, an alliance with, you know, these heavy hitters like Babylon the Great, aka America, and like Russia and China, which Russia, China, and America are all prophesied to be at war in the last days. And, you know, Israel is, joined onto, you know, it's spiritual just because you had the BRICS nations do this. And you got to look at it like this as well. Like, this is about to affect the economies worldwide, because war makes money, but war also affects economies. Go look back at World War One and World War Two. Like the country, I ain't gonna say was doing bad, but the country wasn't doing great. You know what I mean? Like I've been following these different economists, and they were saying how we all thought when the BRICS nations came into play that the American dollar was going to just basically crumble. And I'm gonna be honest. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be honest. I was one of the individuals that thought that, but showing you from how just because you see something doesn't mean you know something. Like literally, they were saying, well, basically the way that the dollar bill is set up and how all this shit is set up. The dollar bill is actually at the top currencies as opposed to all the other currencies. But what's fucking everything up is our dollar is so high, it's making everything so expensive as well. So it's gonna cost more dollars to buy shit. So it's like a lot of individuals say the money is weak and has lost its value. So therefore, therefore that's why it takes more to buy. Well, from what this economist was saying, he's saying basically, the more the dollar's worth, the more you got to pay back. You know what I mean? And then these banks and different economists. That's why you got a lot of economists saying how the shit gonna be basically how they don't see this year. Basically, that's why you got so many companies basically laying off. Like the job I'm at right now. I think I started in end of May, so from June. So you got June, July, August, September, October, 5 months. No problem. They had you as temps, and they were supposed to hire you in, but they never really planned on hiring you in. I found all this information out from somebody that worked there for years that has a position in there that, and like I say again, like you got companies know they like you gotta remember even with certain shit is essential. Like for instance, construction. Certain jobs have already been paid on, so they got to be finished or actually started or whatnot. But if when it come down to like refinancing homes and all that shit, you know what I mean? Like, shit looking bad because, again, you got all, this debt, with a lot of people ain't getting a raise in their wages, you know what I mean? And then you got all this inflation. So a lot of people won't default. And the banks will hold on to that money as far as that they was going to invest in a person's business or the loan out, as opposed to they can go back and buy up property. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, the banks are utilizing other people's money to make a profit. A lot of those banks that actually closed down, those CEOs right before they closed down, it's said those CEOs paid themselves millions of dollars. You know what I mean? From Lehman Brothers to Silicon Valley banks to a lot of them. Even with that union, I heard that union yellow. Well, not the union, but the Yellow Freight company, that trucking company. It said that those executives paid themselves millions of dollars before that shit went belly up. You know what I mean? And that's the way of America. You know what I mean? It's to get yours and fuck the next person. And that's why it's going to be so, like, terrible, the violence that's going to come here, because most people have that dog eat dog mentality. That's what America breeds. A spoiled child mentality, So the Lord is going to visit the earth by this great violence he's going to bring. I'm going to end it with this. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. I'm going to start at verse 2. I'm going to start Salaki. I'm going to start at verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Incredulity goes into disbelief. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So all those that do not believe. So what if you didn't believe? The book of Romans chapter 3 tells you, so what if you did not believe? Does that make basically what was said to come to pass not come to pass? Verse, roughly paraphrase, verse 5, behold, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Verse 6, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So the Lord about to come with great judgment, you know what I mean? It's multiple scriptures talk on it, and speak on it. And, for those that can't see it, you might be one of those that's going to be judged. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I would, basically suggest, recommend, and even hope, because if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, more than likely you one of God's chosen people, and especially if you actually are receiving this message, you need to repent, meaning to apologize and ask for forgiveness, actually beg for forgiveness, and turn away from Babylon's ways and come back to the law, statutes, commandments of your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because the Lord coming with judgment, and we ain't saying nothing yet. So if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kodash Barakatham. I want to say double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim on the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwath out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, subscribing to the truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, shalom, shalom, and Muwath Lababah. Well, Salakia, as I'm reading this, I think I'm going to do something, because I didn't understand. I thought they just was showing like him about to attempt to commit a crime, but in actuality it says Hammer attacks suspect. Seattle police still looking for this fella who allegedly went after two senior citizens in their 60s near the Beacon Hill light rail station last week. Oh, so he did. He was going to attack him. So where I work at, like, it's this individual, in the area where this used to be like Esau's little rest haven, the area that I work in. But now, you can see that, and it's Esau all fucked up. I mean, it's Jake mingled amongst them, of course. But I see this one Jake, and I see him every motherfucking, everyone. I ain't saying every once in a while, but I see him more often than I don't see him, And when I was homeless, I remember seeing this individual, at soup kitchens and whatnot. Long story short, one day I see him with a knife in his back pocket, and that's one thing about when you out in the elements and you in that homeless situation, the Lord allows you to see it's a lot of spirits on people. That's the first time I actually recognized, it's really spirits on people. Because you might see somebody in the world, you're like, oh yeah, something off about them or something different about them. But when you literally like out in that environment with these homeless individuals, they literally be touched by them spirits. I mean, I can attest to that. So, just don't be surprised to see more judgment and more spirits. Stay prayed up and actively seeking and adhering to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, walking that straight path. And with that, shalom, shalom, and Muwath Lababah, shalom.